We're going to talk about drying thyme with a dehydrator. Now we weren't able to dry thyme by air drying because where we live is just too humid. So we had to buy a dehydrator. In this case, we're using the Gourmia GFD1950 digital food dehydrator. Maybe the process for other people is different by the type of plant and dehydrator they have. So we'll walk you through our process of making sure our thyme was thoroughly dry. Our research told us we needed to dry for about 8 hours at 115 degrees Fahrenheit, but we ended up having to dry for 10 hours. It's been a few months since we dried these thyme, and as you can see there's no mold in the jar, and it still smells greater than the store-bought thyme.
Okay, just making sure this is clean and removing any sickly leaves. Just in one more wash. And to make sure that the water is gone, we're going to put it through a salad spinner. Look how much water came out. Jeez. Now we're going to put it on this baking sheet. Okay. So we're going to let it out to dry on this parchment paper, and to hurry the process, well, not me, my husband engineered this fan. So in just a few minutes or an hour or two, that should be ready. I'm just making sure that everything is nicely spread out on this rack. Yeah, you can't have any of these sprigs really overlapping. Like, just try your best not to. Like, I'm just trying to spread it out so that way they can be evenly dried. Okay, so I think I spread it out nicely, and I'm gonna put this tray into this machine I recently purchased. Now that we have all the thyme inside, as you can see, the first thing we need to do with our very clean lid, first we close the lid. That's step one. Okay? Make sure everything is nice and secure. Step one, I plug it in. You hear beeping sound? Okay. And then now we press this, and for thyme, we're going to do 8 hours timer, and the temperature we're going to do 115 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, they don't have a Celsius version. So 113 Fahrenheit, well, it should be 115, but 113 is what they have here. 8 hours. And we're going to see how it's going to dry at these settings. It's the next day, because I was too tired to open it up, and I guess it's given a chance for this to cool down. So you can see like what the thyme looks like. Okay. And like, let's see just how crumbly it is. I'll just put, okay. So, wow, it's like fall. So I guess I'll just have to snap the leaves off these twigs for the next 20 minutes. Okay, sometimes the top leaves are not crumbly. I don't know why. I guess it should have been longer, but this is pretty long, 8 hours at 113 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's like not crumbly enough, I just like put it away because I don't want mold. I say 5% of the leaves are not crumbly. Oh, this is a good one. But then again, like the top leaves like of the sprig isn't crumbly. Since there's some moisture in the leaves, I'm thinking I should probably add salt when I store this away, because salt absorbs some moisture, because the last thing I want after all this effort is to find mold in this a few minutes down the road. Okay, so it's been exactly a day and this has been bugging me. I'm not 100% confident that the thyme 100% dried. I felt a little moisture in the leaves, that means like it wasn't really crunchy and easy to crush. So I take that as a little moisture. So just to be 100% sure, I'm going to take these crushed thyme that I have. I'll put this on this parchment paper like this. Now I read this in a herb book that this is something I could do. I could take this and dry it furthermore for 2 hours at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, or an hour and a half, so 90 minutes. But just to be safe, I'll do it for 2 hours. And this should really make it dry. Because you'll notice like sometimes when you go into stores and buy herbs, they don't have this green tint in the color of the herbs. You see sometimes like it's yellow, so they really dry anything in there. So you really have to make sure it's dry. I think it's better to be safe than sorry. So let's do this right now. In this Gourmia, I spread this out pretty thoroughly. I hope it's okay to put parchment paper in here. Okay, I'll put this. Like to make sure it's really spread out. Okay. So I'm gonna put this on. Turn it on. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna set the timer to 2 hours, like I said. And the temperature I'm going to put at 100 degrees or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's see how that works out. It's been about 2 hours, so it seems a lot drier to me. It smells really nice, so I'm just going to pour it into this jar here. Okay, so this is store-bought thyme, and this is the thyme I just dried. And look at the difference in the color. I think what they do is this is probably, maybe just my theory, maybe it's not as good thyme. And also, I think they might dry it even more to avoid any possibility of mold. But I mean, here I dried it out for like 10 hours in total, and I don't think there's any moisture whatsoever in this now.